Hi guys, I just wanted to film another maybe a quick video, but it'll be a quickish video. I had to hold back on this one because this is a third journal that I made, and this is for my best friend Cathy in South Australia. Now, we've been friends since our childhood. I think we were about 8 when we became best friends in primary school, and there was a period of quite a few years where we did lose touch with each other, but we found each other again on Facebook, and ever since then we have been in constant contact, and she's a very dear friend to me. She's like a sister, and we've been through so much together, and we message daily. If not daily, never more than 2 or 3 days will go past and we're not reaching out in some way and catching up with each other. So she has been such a great supporter. She's an artist herself, does amazing work, and she has been very supportive of my crafting. And we've both found so much joy and so much meditation, and well, I call it meditation, but I've noticed that since I've been doing the crafting, my stress levels and anxiety levels have just dropped so much. And I was talking to another friend of mine who's a Buddhist, very much into spirituality and meditation, and she actually said to me that what I'm doing is a form of meditation. I'm focusing on one thing for long periods of time, and that's what I'm finding is that paper crafting or whatever crafting that you do, it takes your mind off your day's troubles, and you just get a break from that, and it just does so much for your health and wellness. Anyway, slightly off track. We won't go down that road, but I can't emphasize enough how much we both get out of our creative side. So I do encourage people to explore that side in them. So here we are. Now, the reason I chose the frog for the cover is Cathy's got a pond that she built in her backyard, and she works very hard, long hard hours, and so she gets a lot of joy from just sitting in her garden and this one little area that she's made special for herself. And she's had frogs appear in her garden, and she constantly will send photos or upload photos onto Facebook of the various things that the frogs get up to. So hence why I chose this frog as the cover. And out of all the 3 journals, I have discovered that this has been the most popular one. I've never been really big into frogs, but yeah, apparently they are very popular, and the images are just gorgeous. So a little bit about the journal. As I mentioned at the other video, I have completed a Mrs. Cogg's course. It's called the Complete Mrs. Cogg Junk Journal course. I just felt that I wanted to do a course from cover to cover, just because I was just finding I was all over the place, and I needed some sort of well, I've got a very mathematical mind, and not that I'm great at maths, but I just am in that line of work, and I just felt I needed some sort of formula. And I found that Mrs. Cogg's class was, she thinks along the same levels as what my line of thinking is, so I found that a very good fit for me. And it just it just gave me a little bit of structure to making the journals. So that was the name of the course that I did, the Complete Mrs. Cogg Junk Journal course. Highly recommend it, very well laid out. I have just purchased Nick the Booksmith Teachables website, and I've enrolled in the Booksmith Antiquarian. I assume that's the correct way of saying that. I love Nick the Booksmith's books as well. So looking forward to working my way through that. The actual book itself, or the journal, is it's a hardcover. I made it. It's 5 inches by 9 inches, and I just used some very, very thick, the thickest card I could find at Officeworks. I have since been to Bunnings and bought some MDF board, which was 3mm, or which is 3mm thick. So my next lot of journals will be using that. And this one has a 2-inch spine. There's 4 signatures, and they've been hand stitched in. So it's been stitched. So it's a hidden spine. I think that's the correct terminology. And so 4 signatures, and there's 240 pages in total of journaling areas. So we did the little tassel, which is made out of these beautiful different lots of laces, and then I've got some green ribbon in here and some brown ribbon just to match in, and there's some sparkly thread through here just to match with the green frog on the cover and just the browns that will feature throughout the journal. I have used a sari silk closure, and hopefully I'll get this off fairly easily. Nice. I give lots of extra room here, but these can be cut down or removed if another closure is wanted to be used. And the same with the tassel. I'll explain to Cathy that if she does want to, she can take off the tassel. So the cover itself is this beautiful frog image, and then I've got the word banding here. Possibility begins with imagination. Hopefully you can see that. And 2 little buttons there to finish it off. So on the inside cover, got this beautiful little frog image with this lady here in the garden. I think Cathy will know exactly why I picked that image for her. And a couple of little, a flashcard with a couple of little mini tags just down here. So I have done I made 3 journals, and I have done quite a thorough flip through of the garden journals. So this is the frog themed one. So I'll be quite quick. But I found a book on frogs, and I basically gutted the whole book, and the entire book is in here. And I deliberately left these blank spaces here. I was very tempted to put something there, but I thought, no, Cathy is a great artist, and I'm sure she'll find a way of embellishing that herself. I put this little frog charm here that I made with a little crystal. I'm fairly certain it's either glass crystal, it could be even a Swarovski crystal. Another gorgeous frog image under the toad. So the images that I've used in here, there's a little owl charm there, little book dangle. The images that I've used, a lot of them have come from Mrs. Coggs, and Mrs. Coggs Crafts is what she's called on Etsy. They're digital downloads, and I used throughout the 3 journals, flowering trees and forest blooms, the owls, and frogs. So 3 separate digital downloads I used. I also used some out of Tracy Fox's Embellished Floral Delight, and then some papers I printed out from Artie Mays, and that's called Nature Walk. So for example, this one here, this is part of the Artie Mays Nature Walk, and these covers of the signatures I used is the Artie Mays paper as well. So I've got some field notes. These are genuine field notes out of a book that I found. Some information on sari silk that I put into the journals. These frog images are absolutely gorgeous. And I gave her a button card as well. These gorgeous buttons. I explained in my other video that I found a shop here in Perth where the lady, the owner of the business, has got an obsession with buttons, and she's got the most amazing collection I've seen, but some of the buttons are literally like $2 each, so I'm just going to slowly buy a few bits. I think Cathy will have a lot of... I left the library stamp or the school stamp on there field notes. So as this is a Christmas gift, and this will be going in the mail today, but I won't post this video until after Christmas. I also popped in some flashcards, or actually these are cards. They're the suffragettes. Gosh, I don't know how to pronounce these words, but I'm pretty sure it's suffragettes or suffragettes. Amazing movie, and she discovered it probably about a year ago, and I'd already seen it, but she was quite enamoured by the movie. So I found these cards in one of my op shop little ventures, and so I thought she would appreciate those. So I popped a couple in for her to have a look. And this one I got from some Happy Mail, and this is a Tracy Fox. These are the little Tim Holtz mini paper clips, and there's just a little card from one of the Tracy Fox digital downloads that I did. So some information on the frogs. I can imagine her sitting around the pond on the weekend and just flicking through this and just reading it and commenting, and I'm hoping she'll draw some nice images, or she might just relax. There's some more Artie Mays paper. That's the same paper as what I used on the inside covers, and I absolutely love this paper, so I think I'll be using this quite a lot, this design. Yeah, so I'm hoping, these are the Textile Tabs. I just love that black and white one there. Life cycle of the common frog. More field notes. I don't think this is the Artie Mays. I think this is just images I found off the internet that I just liked because of the butterfly theme. Swamp Hickory. This is one of the Mrs. Coggs. This is Artie Mays. Beautiful frog image in the middle there. So she got mainly all the frog images there. Put a little dragonfly charm. Done lots of stenciling, and again I've left a lot of the pages, just trying to get that in frame. I left a lot of the pages blank, specifically so that she can journal, or she can draw, or she can collect her own little bits, take photos perhaps. There's the life cycle. She loves the spawn, the frog spawn, and then she gives us like almost daily updates of the tadpoles and as they're growing. I don't know that she sees them into the frogs or the leg. I guess she does, but they're obviously there because I was reading from this book that they hibernate in the winter and then they come back out again in the summer. We had a motorbike frog appear in our garden. And they're quite feisty little fellas because I've got an English Staffy and I have a ragdoll cat, and they were both very curious. Speaking of cats, here's the suffragettes. The Cat and Mouse Act made the suffragettes' prison hunger strikes legal, stating that they would be released as soon as they became ill. So it's another little image there. I'll have to fix that up later. So this motorbike frog appeared in our garden, and they make the most amazing sounds. And my dog just didn't know what to do with it, and she wanted to attack it, I could see, but this thing, it just jumped forward and attacked, like, as if to attack my dog. And she just was so startled, and she was confused. She was like, I want to attack this thing, but I don't know. And my cat just sat there in the furthest corner of the garden. When it scurried into the bushes, she ran after it, and she kind of peeked and she was sniffing, and but then it would like make these sounds and it would like jump out at her, and she just bolted. But, these little motorbike frogs, they're quite feisty little fellas. So some more field notes here. I think that's just a thick piece of paper there. That's a little black and white image there. It's like a medieval maiden sitting on, looks like a wall or a pond wall perhaps, with two frogs. Is it two frogs or one frog? One frog sitting on there. There's the other side of the field notes. What frogs eat. Oh, charming. Quite lovely little images, and when I found the book, I'm like, well, yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing with this book, so I grabbed it. Yeah, beautiful little frog there with his top hat and his cane, and there's like a little tree house there, and little rose charm. One of my next books that I'll be making will be a Swiss Family Robinson little golden book. I'm looking forward to that. I'm starting to think about how I'm going to put that one together, collecting bits and pieces for that. It was a favourite book of my childhood, and I was absolutely just so happy to find that. It's got a few ripped pages in it, so I'll have to be inventive of how I fix all that. Got some clusters that I put together a while ago. Cathy's very much into her music as well. She plays the violin and cello and guitar. Yeah, she's very talented once she puts her mind to something. And this is a tag, or it's like it's a book that I got, a botanical book, and I scanned it, and I was quite happy with how that worked out. So I had that for a while, so I thought I'll pop that in. Pop that in for her. And the old owl, love the owls. So this got in there, and I've backed that with some tea stained lined paper for some journaling spots. I think these are quails, and she has had quails in the past. So that's why I popped those in there, even though that says penguins, but then on the other side there would have been images of penguins. So I'm fairly certain that these are all the different, and these are Australian quails, and I think I've got the other bit in my journal. So there's the middle page, and beautiful owl image there. Love that poem there. A wise old owl sat on an oak. The more he saw, the less he spoke. The less he spoke, the more he heard. Why can't we be like that wise old bird? Very true. And as she's an artist, I found some in one of the books how to draw portraits. So I just thought that would be quite good. I know she's been trying to do, well, not trying, she has been doing portraits, so I thought she would appreciate that. And it's just one of my little cards that I pop in with some stamping, and then I did some collaging on the back. I think I skipped over a page. There you go. More field notes there. Don't need to open that. I think, you know. This I think is coffee stained paper. I think that's why it's quite a bit darker. I do like the coffee stained paper, but I find it quite rich and dark. I prefer the tea stained paper for the majority of the papers. So there we have it. So I will bundle this up, and another frog image. But I did have one image left over, and I didn't want to waste it, so I made a little pamphlet for her and featured that image on there, and just put some of the leftover papers and stenciled, so that will go in there too. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye.